Okay, let me tell y'all about this situation when I was working at this plant. I was working there for a minute, and things had just started to get hectic because it was just like nothing you do. Do you feel like at a job, whatever you do, it's just never enough? And it's just like, it just on and on, it's just never enough. So you do this, you think you get it right. And come your manager, and they always tripping on you. But you doing your job, and you doing it to the best of your abilities, but you always getting tripped on, and it's just never enough. So what I'm trying to say in this video, I'm starting to learn in life, it's just like, if you got a manager or a boss or whatever that's tripping on you, it's not gonna get no better. So no matter what you do, if the manager or boss don't like you, they're just not gonna like you. The only way they're gonna like you if you move on and get another job. Then they gonna like you then. But while you working there, it's not gonna get no better, because I tend to be in situations like that. You would like stick around trying to be a good Samaritan, hoping it's gonna work out and get better on the job. But it seemed like the longer you stuck it out, the more and more the situation got worse. And I just wonder, why is that? I be thinking that really you could change people's minds or mindset and it'll get better. But in reality, you really can't. So on that note, just with any situation that you dealt with in life, I just want to know, when you stuck around at your workforce, your friendship, or anything, it's like when you decide to go back and keep giving it your all, have your situation got better or has it got worse? Because sometimes you can stay somewhere too long and you should have been thought about leaving. Because that's how I felt when I was working at this plant. I felt like I thought if I stick around, it'll get better. And it never did. So, and I learned that in life. That's a lesson that I learned in life. If you say you done with something, just be done with it. Don't never try to go back and see if you can fix the situation, because at the end of this day, when there's two parties involved, you can only do what you can do. You can't control the other party. You can't control the manager or your supervisor or anybody, because if they feel a certain way, they're going to always feel the same way. So, and they could be having a motive behind it anyway, because most of the time, people do be having a motive behind it. They're smiling in your face, thinking everything good, but do some sneaky jump behind your back. So it's just like, if you're dealing with that in the work environment, it's time for you to find another job. And it's okay to leave your job, because I was hearing a lot of people in my previous video say, but you gave up, you supposed to stuck with it. But first impression is a good impression. So how I'ma stick with something and I ain't got the proper equipment? When I quit the first day on Amazon, how I'ma stick with something and I ain't got the proper equipment? That's just like saying somebody trying to fix your car. They don't got the right proper equipment to diagnose your car to know what's wrong with it, so they halfway fixing it. So you gonna keep continuing to get your car fixed, or you gonna just be like, nah, I'm just gonna remove my car from the situation because they ain't got the full equipment. So you can't get the full potential if you ain't got the full equipment. And already on the first day, everybody's different, so we need to start thinking about that. Your vision is your vision, my vision is my vision. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's what you would have did, but you're entitled to your opinion, so I can't trip on it. But let's get back to this work situation when I was working at the plant. I was doing manual line work. I was doing a lot of lifting and picking up car parts and putting them on the line, working it together, so it's the same thing over and over. So then you do your job, so sometimes it started to get repetitive, but then it's just like, that's cool. And sometimes we may get finished early on the line or something like that. And then it's like, when you get finished early on the line, they go find something else for you to do. Like, what's going on with that? Like, if we done with our assignment, why get rest to do something else? Because as a worker, and if you working out there in the field, if you get done with your work, and then they try to tell you to do something else, like, what's the point of rushing? You're going to be there for 8 or 10 hours. So I would take my time. Because that don't make sense. Because why is you making up extra work for us to do? You're not getting paid extra. So I don't know if people think that's the wrong attitude to have, but that's smart. That's like somebody trying to get down on you. You throwing this in, and it ain't even part of your job description. And then they tripping anyway. So it's just like, how I'm want to do something extra for you, and you always tripping on me anyway. That's the crazy part. Because you just come to the work just tripping. And then people like, man, don't take it out on him, man. He just like that for everybody. But even if you miserable at the job, you ain't got to trip on everybody else because we ain't do nothing to you. So stop taking your personal life and bringing it into the workforce. So I learned that in life, because if you got a manager or boss or anything, then they don't like you. They just don't like you. It's not going to get better. Even if they see you out in the street, they still going to remember they don't like you. So always get that through your mind. And it's okay. Everybody ain't got to like you. But it is what it is. You know how it go. When they don't like you, they start doing bull crap. From a mile away, they start messing with you. They got a hard on for you, all types of stuff. And all over nothing. Because at the end of the day, they don't own the company. And they miserable. So you can't let that get to you. But what I learned in life, if you find yourself in that type of situation, start looking for another job. Because it's not going to get better. Then if you go for another job, because it's always the people, if you find another job and it's another person in there that don't like you, look for another one. Then if you keep doing the same cycle and you getting the same results, start thinking about going into business for yourself and making you free and setting you free. It might be a little bit more stressful, but I see why people want to be entrepreneurs and go into business for themselves. But remember, it's just going to be a long journey. So you got to be able to deal with the journey. And once you can deal with the journey and you keep the peace and stay mentally built to keep going and do your dreams, then it's going to work out. So I understand. I get why people, because I keep seeing a lot of videos like that, people leaving their jobs. Yeah, because people fed up. That's all. But y'all managers and y'all supervisors gotta stop tripping, man. I ain't seen that much tripping in the world. Don't let me be no supervisor. I ain't tripping on nobody. But it ain't that to the fact that you think your workers is just trying to get over on you. No. Now that's different. If you don't trip, you get somebody a foot, they take 2 miles. Now I done seen situations like that too. Like I was working somewhere, we had a cool boss, and then he giving her leeway to do something cool. Then she get caught doing something cool by his boss, and he can't cover because he told her take this and do this. She get caught by his boss. Now that's different if you're in a situation like that. But in reality, no, it's just that managers be tripping on you. And with any situation in life that I ever dealt with when it comes to just dealing with people on the workforce or in general, it don't get better. It get worse. So I be the one trying to be a good Samaritan, trying to stick around, thinking things gonna get better in the workforce, and it just get worse every time. So what I learned in life, my lesson is, if you debating about leaving somewhere, don't take too long to leave. And don't double back and try to go work at the job. Move on. That's what we gotta teach ourselves. If we say we're gonna be done with a situation, a workplace, anything, just be done. Because I don't know if I'm tripping now, because to me, it don't never tends to get better. Because if it's an issue, because it's always one person trying to solve the issue, or you and the supervisor or manager can't come to a conclusion, or the manager don't want to even care to understand you. They don't value you as a human, so they don't even care to understand you. So they don't know nothing about their employees. Or they just trying to get a bonus for themselves and stuff like that. So they just trying to rush everybody over unnecessary stuff that don't make sense for us just to benefit them. Because they get a bonus if you get a certain amount of parts done and all this bull crap, man. Forget that bonus. Boss or supervisor, forget that bonus. Because I'm a team player. That's whatever my team want to do. So I'm going to make my team feel good to work for me. Because they're going to want to come to work and do all this because I'm making a job better for my team to work if I was a supervisor. I'm not going to make it hard on my team players because the team players ain't going to want to work. That's how it goes. When you a manager or supervisor, you thinking about yourself and being selfish, or you want a bonus for you, but the team not getting a bonus, so why you hard on the team? So now the situation is getting worse and you messing with the workers, then the workers just trying to be nice and be a human and just keep working for you. They getting stressed out about the situation, so it's just all crazy. So that's my take on that situation. That's what it seemed like to me. So as a worker, employee, speaking from an employee's perspective, if y'all don't find no peace at that job, it's always another job out here, and that's what we tend to lack at. It's like when we get jobs, we get comfortable because jobs are hard to come by. I can't lie. But that don't mean we stop looking, and that's what people go wrong at. They get comfortable. You're never supposed to be comfortable in life, no matter where you're working, because it's always a better job. It's always a skilled trade you can do. That might not even be the field you're supposed to be in. You just in there for, you didn't even know what your real talents was. You might be like, dang, I've been working at this place for so long. I took something else up. I'm making way more in the situation better, way more. Or you never know what your purpose in life is, but you never give up on trying to find your purpose. That's even with me. Always gotta stay looking. So in response to my older video, people was commenting, telling me their story about them leaving their jobs and they happy for me and stuff like that. Yeah, because ain't nothing wrong with that. Stop wanting to be the same stuck, think inside the box type of person. Try to think outside the box for a change. Because you never know what might happen. So that's just my take on that situation. So it's just like, well, let me go back to the situation. It's just like, no matter what you did at the job, it was just never enough. No matter, you came to work on time, you did your job, then it was just like hard manual labor too. It was just like a bunch of car parts. And then you know how it is when you're working on the line, you really got to tend to that line. You can't do nothing else because they got a production that they got to keep doing. So people who work on the line, I tip my hat off to y'all. Y'all deserve every dollar y'all should receive because working on the line ain't no joke. So I worked on the line before. But imagine you working on the line before, you got a boss that's just always tripping on you. Or he or she don't like you. I don't know what it was, because he might don't like you because you ain't buddy-buddy with him. You ain't cool with him. Or she might not like you because you don't talk to her. Hey, boss, you just come to work and do your job. So she don't like that because you ain't a social person. Because half of the bosses be on some stuff like that. Like, if you ain't they boy or they homegirl, if you ain't they friend and can talk to, they'll take it out on you. They look at you like you the odd one out the bunch. Maybe you just don't want to come to work and talk. Because we should be working more than talking anyway, but you know how that go. When you in the workplace, everybody worried about what you doing. Or this employee telling on this employee. You got people like that. That's just how the world works for you. So that's just my take on that. So let me ask y'all in the comments. So when y'all was dealing with a situation like that, punching in the clock or no matter what, and then you had somebody that didn't like you, or y'all just couldn't get along, or was always at each other on the workplace, did you stick around and it got better? That's what I want to know for the people who's sticking around. Is it getting better or is it just getting worse? So if you find yourself stating that in a situation that is getting worse, what I advise you to do, try to find another job or try to find a better situation that makes you feel free, and then you lose your confidence and stuff like that. It's just like when you stressed out, you lose your confidence to even focus and want to do the job because they making a job harder than what it's supposed to be. They're making it difficult, and it don't have to be difficult. And then sometimes they'll do stuff, they'll do stuff in the workforce that don't make no sense. But you gotta listen because that person is your boss. But do something that makes sense and don't do extra work for the employees. If they got a job assignment, let them do their job assignment. Don't give them no extra work. It's simple. What you giving them extra work for? What you giving them made up work for? It's simple. Stop giving these employees made up work. But like my little cousin used to tell me, man, the jobs be, it don't be the job, man. It be the people. And I used to tell him, but that's everywhere you go. Let me know if I'm lying or not. But to make your situation better, you just gotta pick the best of less evils. As far as I'm concerned. If it's everywhere you go, you gotta go somewhere where you gotta settle for, it's not that bad. But don't take too much settling, but settle with what's best for you, in your opinion. So that's all I'm saying. So let me know about y'all take on that.